as retribution, but just punishment for crimes.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst crime of the 21st century has been the Bush-Blair invasion of Iraq, totally without any credible pretext. If you notice, the pretext kept changing every time the facts changed. It's a textbook example of aggression, supreme international crime under international law, differing from other war crimes in that it includes all of the evil that follows. That's the Nuremberg judgment on. And you'll recall perhaps that Robert Jackson, the U.S. prosecutor at Nuremberg, warned the tribunal that, as he put it, we're giving these defendants a poisoned chalice, and if we sip from it, we must be treated the same way, or else the Nuremberg tribunal is a farce, victor's justice. So sure, they should be subjected to international law. Now, in the United States, that can't happen, because the United States uniquely is self-immunized against law. When the United States supported the International Court of Justice and practically initiated it in 1946, they added a proviso that the U.S. cannot be charged with violation of international treaties. They meant specifically the UN Charter, which bans the use of force, or the OAS Charter. That's been accepted by the courts. In fact, if you look at the record, the U.S. rarely ratifies any international agreements, but when it does, there's almost invariably a reservation which says what's called non-self-executing. Technically, that means it doesn't apply to us unless there's specific legislation. And that's accepted by the courts. Like, for example, when Yugoslavia brought up charges against NATO, the U.S. appealed to the court and said, we can't be charged. And the reason was that they had mentioned the word genocide. And when the U.S. signed the Genocide Convention, ratified it 40 years later, there was a reservation saying inapplicable to the United States. So this is across the board. The U.S. is immune, self-immunized to international law. Britain, not quite that much. But these are really things that are in the hands of the public. Again, if we permit our leaders to be major war criminals, sure, that's what they'll do. Power tries to achieve whatever it can. And if its domestic enemy allows it to do it, they'll do it. Snowden case is a case in point.